And welcome on in, everybody. It's your Frogman here, King Pepe II, bringing you the latest on the new Brown Dust 2 update with the lovely Magical Innovator Diana and the rest of, the update. So with that being said, if you're new to my channel, like and subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and turn your bell notifications on in case you want any more, live news when I post something and whatnot, right? And for any new players to Brown Dust 2, I hope that my guides and playthroughs and anything that I might add with Brown Dust 2 content, I'll help you out. Okay, with that being said, let's hop into it. I do apologize again for my voice being a little raspy. I just woke up, so I might not sound 100%, okay? But I wanted to get this video out because last night I had some issues, right? So I ran into an issue where after I did the update, the game kept crashing. So we're going to look into it with the Fantasia Square because that's where the crashing was happening. Now, they did actually just patch it up, right? So we're going to check it out. Hopefully, it doesn't crash, right? And it happened really between the loading screens, right? When you were going back and forth between the packs, right, or the main menu, and the loading screen, it just wouldn't start up. You had like that blue ring of death, so to say, right, where it would just splash color on the screen. So that's what happened. So I had to keep like restarting it, and also my video did unfortunately get age restricted, so I had to make a new one. Okay, so there are some, like, for example, Vendana's interaction scene. I cannot showcase that, sadly. However, just take my word for it because they did actually remove the black bars. Okay, so trust me on that. They actually did. So, with that being said, let's hop into Deanna. I know I normally do my polls when it comes to new updates, but I'm just going to go over Deanna's build real quick, and we'll take a look at it, right? So I think the best way to approach this new update is to just cover step by step, right? It wasn't a totally big update, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. So we're going to go to Mart War, and yes, there they are, the MILFs themselves, and obviously the lovely and fabulous Valje on the very end here, who's going to be a future costume for us to play as, right? Along with Mamamir. So keep that in mind, keep that in mind. Okay, so why am I going to the Fiona boss? Well, it's to showcase the new Deanna. Gonna talk a little bit about her, okay? And what my thoughts on her were. Now, I'm not gonna really take this fight seriously. This is just to showcase, you know, Magical Innovator Deanna's abilities, so to say, with her skill. So we take a look at her, right? Let's take a look at her real quick. So, Magical Innovator Deanna. This is her. Now, she does have a 15 turn cooldown time when you activate this skill. However, it doesn't mean that her summons is the same thing. Okay? So you can either put her on preemptive, like how you do with Morphia, Grunhilders, right? Valkyrie form, Apostle Olivier, right? Lathos. I think it's like the Dark Knight one, right? So I'm going to put out preemptive because obviously I'm going to summon her anyway. Right, I'm going to be summoning this anyway. So this is the summons. It's called the Magic Amplifier ET001. Okay. Now let's talk about her. Her SP cost is 5, but when you level up her skill tree, it goes down to 3. Okay. And she also adds a 20% barrier for damage reduction. Right. So let's go click on her. Right. And talk about her. So I'm going to click on this. So now it doesn't show the stats on the little robot here, other than this, meaning not the stats, but the skill, correct? So that's why you have to click on Magical Innovator Deanna, and then you have to click on Magic Amplifier ET001 to read everything here. Okay, so skill. She casts a skill in a 5-tile X-shaped area, increasing allies' property damage for 4 turns. This effect can stack up to 4 times. Property damage multiplier increases with costume upgrade levels, so plus 0, 25% property damage plus 1, 30% property damage plus 2, and so forth. It goes up in intervals of 5%. So at plus 5, you get the full 50%. So this actually does stack up to 4 times. So what does that mean? It means that the more you cast the ability with the little summons here, right? Just multiply it by 4. So, for example, I have my summons at +1, so it is going to be supplying a 30% property damage increase for whoever is in the vicinity of this X-shaped, right? With the glowing green tiles. So in this case, Leatrice is going to be receiving the buff, right? Sadly, Rubia isn't, but if I move Rubia here, she'll receive it too, right? Okay, so my thoughts on this are, yes, this is really nice because technically this does stack, correct? So 30 times 4 is 120%, right? So if we look at Leatrice and Rubia, right? So Rubia's fire damage property is 60%, and Leatrice is the same way, 60%, correct? Okay, so I feel that with Magical Innovator Deanna, I wouldn't really say that she's a high priority to look into with this when it comes to rolling. Now, the reason why I say this is because with Deanna's adventure skill that she has here, right? She supplies a 220% increase in property damage and also a 30% increase in crit rate, right? And it lasts for 8 turns, correct? So in this case, how I see it as, it's like, okay, so I'm already going to be getting a ton of property damage, right? Now, mind you guys, at +5, that's why she's at 220%. But for newer players out there, you should have had an opportunity at some point, right, to roll for her to be at a +5 or a little higher, because you do get those selected draw tickets and you can actually draw, you know, who you want. Because I do remember it being a thing back in the last summer update that they had with their, you know, anniversary. And that was the new thing about it, right, for newer players. So you should more or less have it, well, her leveled up in some way, right? Okay, but going back now into this. So she's going to supply Leatrice and Rubia with 220%, right? Lasts for 8 turns. With Magic Innovator Deanna, the extra property damage is nice. Don't get me wrong with that. It is very, very nice. But I'm going to show you what or how much damage you can do with just having it at +1. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Magical Innovator Deanna isn't helpful. I'm just saying that I don't see her, like, you drawing, like, you know, spending all your tickets and whatnot to have it at, like, the highest possible. You know what I mean? So I'm going to show you how much damage I can inflict with, for example, this boss here at level 6, which I would imagine, you know, at level 7 it wouldn't be really be that much of a difference, and then so forth and so on. Because I have a team set up where it's like a DOT, but the property damage does help out a lot, okay? Now, with this team, I not only have property damage from Deanna's 2 costumes now, but I also have it from Refithia, okay, as well. So if we look at Refithia even, right? Now, it's really going to be dependent on if you have these costumes unlocked and how much you plus them. Now, for me, okay, for the sake of this video, we're going to go by what I have, okay? So ally property damage increases by 85% for 2 turns, so property damage again. Now, this skill for her Bridal Refithia can be activated every single turn, right? Much like how with Deanna's, you know, summonings here is the same way. It can activate its skill every single turn because its cooldown time is 1. And also its SP cost is 1 too. So it's cheap, it's easy to summon and activate the skills, right? So in argument, I guess you can say technically that why not just go the full way? Well, that might sound nice, but the thing is, Deanna's only really used for countering types, okay? It's not like you summon her for, like, every single fight for a supporter, correct? She's really only used for countering an enemy type. So, for example, in this case, Wind, which is the enemy boss here, I'm using a fire team. So obviously, I'm going to bring out Deanna for the extra property damage, right? In this case, it's fire elements. So this is why I say I only really use her when I need to use her. Okay? Now, yes, she does help you pass a lot of tower clearing as well. So keep that in mind. But I'm not going to say she's really valuable in the sense of having her on the field every single time for something, right? Which I'm sure a lot of players out there already know, but I just want to like talk about it again just to make a case, right? But here we go. So I'm going to do is I'm going to use, okay, so I have the summons on the field, right? I'm going to activate now Deanna's adventure skill. I'm going to activate, in this case, just to get some more SP points, okay, to showcase everything here. Going to activate Rafithia's Glutty one to get some 5 SP points. I'm going to activate Libertas to gain some SP and also some crit rate increase and attack increase as well. And we're just going to leave Rubia and Leeches at the moment. And we're going to put everybody in this order, correct? Now, this is not going to be a Fiend Hunter guide. This is just to showcase Deanna's new support skill, okay? So let's go activate it. So if we calculate all this, right, and you look at Leatrice, which you can, since she's technically the one that's highlighted by the property damage buff, you'll see it goes up to 310%, right? So from 60% all the way to 310%, right? Tremendous spike in property damage, right? So that's incredible. And let me also change. Okay, so it's there. Okay, good. But yeah, so incredible, right? Rubia, she's also going to be gaining, what, 280? Yeah, 280% because of Deanna's adventure skill since she is highlighted in the aura field, right? Okay, so now that we got that covered, right? We'll now activate Rafithia's poolside. Now, if you do have this unlocked, and like I said, for the sake of this video, for my case, right, with my stats, my property damage for poolside Rafithia is going to increase an additional 50% for 8 turns, right? So I'm going to be gaining even more property damage. And I'm also going to activate again the little drone here, the summons, for Elytris to gain even more property damage since it does stack up to 4 times. You can even check it out on Elytris, the property damage boost 1 stack. Okay, so that's going to increase. So that's going to be another what? So 50% and a 30%, so that's another 80%. Correct? So then this number should change to 390%, right? So if we check it out, let's activate it real quick, right? So everybody's highlighted. Okay, so just activate it just to see. But yeah, you can also just click on this too. So right off the bat, 360%, 390%. So yes, we did get it all. Okay. Now, if you look at the damage on the boss, you're going to see that a +1 for, like, you know, in addition to, obviously, the other property damage, you know, support skills here, you're going to see this boss's health dwindle a lot. Okay? So, here we go. We're going to activate again now, finally. Rafithia's bridal one. So, that's going to be an 85%. We're going to also now reactivate again the buff for the summons. So that'll give you another 30%. So 85% plus the 30% is a total of 150%. Correct? So that's what we're going to do with that. So we look at Leatrice. So she's the one highlighted still. So just add 390%. In fact, we're just going to see it happen. So don't have to do math in my head with this. So you see 475%, then it goes up to 505%, right? So you do get the property damage element. Now it's going to go down again because Rafithia's bridal one only lasts for 2 turns. But the thing is, you can activate it every single turn, much like the summons of Deanna's little drone here, right? So if we look here now again, so it went back down to 420%. However, Leatrice has the 3 stack here now. Now it only goes up to 4 stacks, okay? So we're going to summon it one more time to do its thing. And then we'll activate Rafithia's again. So another 115%. Correct? And look at the boss's health, right? So 420%, just add 115% to that. So that's a 535%. Correct? So let's take a look. She'll activate hers. The summons will activate its next. So 535%. There it is. And look at the boss's health as it dwindles down with the burn damage and the elemental increase. It's a good chunk, right? It's a good chunk. Now, keep in mind that you're also taking into consideration the what's it called? The skills that the bosses use as well, because they're like, it's one of those things where, you know, you have to be under a certain condition and then it gives you like a buff. So keep that in mind. But I'm just showing you that you don't really need to go all out with Deanna's you know, magical innovator in just general. That's like totally up to you. Okay, so since now this is at 4 stacks, you can just activate it again just because. Okay? We're gonna reactivate Deanna's adventure skill again, right? And then just check it out here again. So 230%. This is gonna increase obviously, so let everybody do their thing. Bounce back up to 535%. So there you go. So I hope in some way that this shows you that, you know, you can be great at where you're at with everything. You know what I mean? With even at a +1, I should really say. You don't have to go all out with it. You know what I'm saying? So here we go again. Not sure if you heard that. That was like my phone dropping a notification. And there you guys go. So yeah, that's a good chunk of damage, right? Okay, so there you have it. That was just me showcasing it. I'm not taking the Fiend Hunter. This is not a Fiend Hunter boss guide, okay? Like I said. I'll be doing one in the future, but not right now. That was just to showcase it, okay? So there you guys go with it. Hope you guys were able to see a little bit of Deanna's skill with that. Now, obviously, if I had Magic Innovator Deanna leveled up a little bit more, I honestly probably could have just finished that boss off, right? But you gotta remember, Olivia has not been released yet for Idle Retired costume yet, so keep that in mind. I would just, you know, see how it plays out for you guys. This is totally up to you at this point, what you want to do with this upgrading, okay, with Deanna. So that's more of a thing with how you want to do it, right? I'm going to just slowly upgrade her in time, but that's just me personally. I'm going to be saving up for Olivia and seeing what her skill set is like in the future. Okay, so that was Deanna and covering her, okay? Now, we're going to go and look into the other updates here. So first off, let's cover the Valentine Crackdown minigame, which is the Valentine's thing, right? So this is where they have the new Slice of Life stories, along with the return of Field Quest and the mini season event stories that they used to have before they went into the VN style with Goodbye Freedom, which showcased Levencia and Levia, right? So the Slice of Life stories, it's very self-explanatory. You just like play them, right? You read everything what they have to offer. And then Glacia over here, she drops a quiz for you and tests your knowledge on basically what you read here, okay? Now, you can get the answers wrong and just replay them if you want to, okay? So it's not a very hard grind in trying to remember, okay? But that's what the quizzes are based off of, okay? And as for the exchange, this is the shop that you use your chocolate roulette coins in, okay? And you can also find this on the home page as well, under the event option, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. So yeah, you collect these, you roll, and another very interesting thing about this is for 30 spins, you're able to acquire this visual that you can equip on your avatar in the Fantasia Square. So it is animated, by the way, if you're wondering. It is an animated visual. Okay, you equip it, and then you can go around and just flex it to your friends in case they don't have it, okay? So this is for a nice Valentine's Day, since it is tomorrow. Okay, little nice thing that they did for us. Now I'm not sure if they'll do more of this in the future. In all honesty, I'm pretty sure that they are going to do this. So very easy to do. You just gotta like do your little events here, collect, right? You also get a free spin each day, so don't forget that, and don't forget to use them. Okay, in case you want to get, obviously the rewards here are worth going for. They have 600 deco coins in total, 10 selected draw tickets, and then 10 draw tickets here as well. So very easy to do. Okay, now as for the field quest, this ties into those mini event stories that they used to have. So I'm going to show you what they're like. Okay, and this is actually going to be very new to a lot of newer players that were not familiar with this. Okay, so we're going to take a look at it, right? Apparently somebody's best score is 15,000, which is crazy. I don't know how they could have gotten that score, but they did. Okay, so back in the day, guys, back in the day, before the Goodbye Freedom story, this is actually what they used to do. So they would have a a mini special event story that you would go through, right? They were very fun. They were with the SD characters here, right? The little chibis. You would go around and just basically talk, right? It was like you know, a JRPG style, right? Much similar to the main game. And that's all there was to it. Very short stories. A lot of them were very fun, I found. Not much to it. Okay, so when it comes to the mini games that they used to have here, you actually used more of your skill set in this case with them. So I'm going to be using the skills here. So obviously you can equip them, if you want, right? So like I said, you actually used more of your skills when you used to do these types of events. So you can use stealth, rush, dash, and I believe it was really only those three are the biggest ones, because this is more along the lines of collecting coins, which I'll show you now. So I'll activate my skill, and this is how it starts, right? Of course, you're supposed to avoid the black glutus, but I got hit because of a little glitch there that I just had. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but there was a glitch. Okay, that one I actually got hit for real with that. I'm just showcasing this, though. I'm not taking this seriously. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to showcase it. So there you guys have it. So that's basically what the event was, Very easy, you know what I mean? Very straight to the point. However, it was really fun. And I actually do remember this event in particular, by the way. This was the one with Eustia, in fact. Which I think it actually says in the dev notes, too. Oops. Yeah, I don't know how somebody got 15,000 points on this. That's crazy. Got stuck at a sign. Of course I did. Anyway, that's the point. Okay, just wanted to showcase that. Now, obviously, if I was taking it seriously, I would be casting stealth mode so I can avoid the black glutus. But there you guys have it. So that's what they used to have back in the day. Very fun, right? And also, we're going to take a look now at the mini season event stories that they used to have, because now they added them all. And if you see the wallpaper that I have on my home screen here, right? This is actually from one of the event stories that I'm about to show you. And also, you can actually really tell that the art style was very different from back in the day, right? It's very, very different. Obviously, Sylvia, Yuri, and Deanna up here, very different. Like, their eyes are basically are what stands out about it, right? But, however, it is still very beautiful art. I'll still say that. Okay, so if we go to the event option, this is where you find them. You click on it. I'm sorry, not the event. Story. I'm sorry. My apologies. You go to the story option, and you go to the season events. Correct? Now, you're going to see every other story with the VN, right? However, when you get to here, so Goodbye Freedom was the start of the VN style, right? But when you get to Carta War Z, this was the last seasonal event story they had with the SD characters. So what you would do is you would just, obviously you would read it, right? And the Carta War Z was basically, and I actually talked about this in a previous video if you watched it. It was based off of a zombie apocalypse scenario. I won't give too much away in case you want to enjoy the story yourself. But It covered Mikaela, Luvencia, Nebris, and Seer. You can actually see them here. And also, this is a background wallpaper, which I'll showcase. You know what? Let me just showcase it here because I do have it equipped. So here they are right here, right? So if you zoom in, you can obviously see Luvencia. You see Nebris up there. You see Seer. And obviously, Mikaela. And then you see the zombies all around them, right? I actually really did enjoy this story a lot. It's a very nice story. And I think that you guys would also enjoy it too. But yeah, they were just these mini stories here. So let's go back here. So they're all here from the very beginning, from Windy Cat, which is the first release, I believe. Yeah, it was the first release. And then Idle Phantasm, Made Impossible, Android Soul, which I gotta say, Leckless, she was quite something with the dialogue. I really enjoyed this, by the way. Her and Lathel were well, it was actually more a case of Leckless and the thing she said to Lathel. And then School Crisis with Eustia. I got him like stuttering, right? With Eustia here. Marry Me, which was based off of Rue and Raphethia. Diet Rush, Lowen and Rue, right? And then Click Click Summer, which is based off of Morphine Eclipse. Okay, and obviously this was the start, in fact, of when Shada and Terese were first paired up in the summer event. Just like you saw in the last one with them. This was the very first one that they both starred in together as well. So yeah, all you have to do is just go and play, you know, everything if you want to. It's all here now. And like I said, all the wallpaper that came along with it should also be added into your wallpaper inventory here. So you see them all. And they also included the new Mart Wars one with the lovely MILFs that we all love. Deanna, Olivier, and Valje as well. So there you have it. And they also added the Yoma Busters wallpaper too. So the only thing that they do not have here, sadly, is that they do not have is Operation Moe event story. So sadly, guys, they do not have this for specific reasons. They actually did not list them as to why they didn't add it. However, if you are curious about it, I'll just read what it was about. So these are actually the dev notes from a very, very long time ago, in fact. Hold up, let me change the screen. Sorry about that. Yeah, so these are the dev notes that were from a very, very long time ago. Okay, that I found. As you can see, it was March 27th of 2024. So, yeah, a long time ago, right? So I'll read what the Operation Moe event story was about. And just so you guys, if you guys are curious about what it was. Okay, so Jaden was forcibly trying to create a gate to send Eustia back to her original world. However, at the end of Depleted Magic, an immense recoil of unable to feel Moe comes and overwhelms him. I gotta say, man, when I read this description, I gotta say it was like one of the most wildest like backstories I think I've read ever with an event story. So Jaden weeps. Eustia is at a loss. At that moment, when various emotions intersect over Jaden, who is in shock, the black shadow of the demon Darkness Devourer that dominates the underground of the school looms over the school. In order to drive out Darkness Devourer, a situation requiring Jaden's recovery at all costs arises. In a desperate situation, Eustia's party urgently launches an operation to help Jaden regain the Moe and vitality he has lost. I know, right, guys? It's crazy. But this was the one event story that they didn't add back, along with all the other ones. Now, in the Discord, there was some talk about it. I'm not going to say who said this, but they said it most likely was the reason because it basically surrounded the story with a male character. In this case, it was Jaden, right? So that was their reason behind it, or I guess their theory behind it as to why it wasn't added back in. And if you look at even the dev note, if you look at even the dev notes, sorry about that. Didn't mean to show you my OBS. But if you look at the dev notes, here even, give me a moment to bring it up. Where is it? Oh no, that's the balance adjustments. Sorry, or schedule adjustments. But okay, I don't have it up at the moment. Then, however, if you do look at the dev notes, it actually does say um, about, and it does talk about it, and it's just a little message at the bottom when you get to the dev notes, and it states that. Like I said, I think if that really is the reason and case behind it, I think it's a ridiculous reason. Okay, but that's just me. If that's the truth about it. So sadly, we won't be able to get that. I'm not sure if they'll add it in time or whatnot, but we'll just have to see. Okay. So just wanted to talk a little bit about it. Okay, so moving on now. We're going to go check out the, well, let me just say this. Terese, in case you're wondering, with her follow-up Faded Guest story, you just got to go to your glue talk on the home screen. In case you do have her, that is. Okay, you have to have her in order to do this. But fear not, if you do not have her, she is actually in the shop where you can get her. So here is the Medical Club Terese, right? There she is. So you would click on this for the follow-up story for all those that have completed her Faded Guest story, right? And have unlocked the, well, all the story content. Click on it, and it'll send you straight to it, right? In case, like I said, in case you do not have her, but you want to have her interaction scene and the follow-up Faded Guest story, she's actually in the Golden Thread shop. It's very, very easy to locate. She costs 1,600 Golden Thread. Medical Club Terese, she is still an excellent supporter to have as well. All you have to do, though, to unlock the Faded Guest interaction scene along with the stories, you just need to have her one time. So here's your chance to get her. Very simple. And since we're on the topic of the shop, Powder of Hope shop, we have added all the lovely ladies, okay, including Alec, okay, to the Powder of Hope shop. So in case you guys want to snag a copy, right, here they are, okay? And in my opinion, the best ones that I feel you should go for, are Once Manager Liberta, Queen of Glutis Grenadier, and the Shrine Maiden of Purification Grenadier. Reason why I didn't say my girls Vendana and Blade is because when it comes to supporters in this game, you want your supporters to be somewhat enhanced. Okay, that's the best way I can word it. Okay, guys. Obviously, Onsen Practitioner Vendana and Onsen Sword Fighter Blade, I love them to death. Yes, and I love using them in fights. But if you're prioritizing what you should do as for strategy and for who's good to have on a team, or who's great to have on a team with support, then I would check out like Liberta. She's excellent for chain stacking, augmentation. Queen of Glutis Grenadier is excellent now for magic teams. Okay, she's basically like Homunculus Lathel. That's the best way I can compare her to. And then a Shrine Maiden of Purification. She adds augmentation damage to your team, as well as a certain skill where, depending on how many debuffs your team has, she turns that into damage for someone on your team, right? So that's what I say. They're very nice to have when it comes to this. And then obviously Swordbreaker Alec. I mean, and I'm gonna be honest, Alec is not the strongest male character in this game, so I would just completely skip him. Okay, but as for everybody else, it's up to you on that decision. Okay, but if you don't have them, I would get them just to have the spicy wallpaper. Okay. Okay, so Mirror War Shop, Comeback Idol Grunhilder. She's now in here. Okay, she is excellent for PvP still. She has a lot of health depending on how you build her, and her energy guard is reflected on how much health she does have, which can be very, very high. Okay, so is she a must? I would say for PvP content, she is definitely, but that's up to you. Okay, Evil Castle Shop, Guild Shop, and the Golden Coliseum Shop. Nothing's changed with those though, however. So there you have it. There's the shop as well. Okay, so now we're going to go and we're going to talk about and let's just hope, guys, that this works without crashing. We're going to go to Fantasia Square. So, on the dev notes that were released earlier this morning, okay, it was said that they did do a patch, which I did download, okay? And it did fix, I'll just read it off here. Update contents. Actually, let me just put it on the screen here. So it does say it fixed an issue where the game could crash when viewing an ID card with a top tier title. So Golden Hand, the Advent of God, etc. That has particle affections equipped. Fixed the crash that would occur when skipping the cutscene shown when entering the guild raid for the first time after watching the mini-season event story. Fixed the crash that could occur when rapidly switching between package tabs in the premium shop. Fixed the crash that could occur when the field quest UI opens while entering field quests from the mini-season events. Fixed an issue where sound would not play after watching a visual novel style story and returning to the field. Fixed an issue where loading could occasionally be delayed when entering fishing. Okay, so this was something that happened with me, which is why I was saying I experienced a lot of crashes with this. Fixed a crash that could occur in Mirror Wars when dragging a registered costume while setting the costume order. Okay, so there you have it. Those were the, that was the patch. Okay, so gonna cover it now. So avatar-wise, they added Lowen and Nebris. As you can see, I put Nebris here just to showcase her. So if you go to the mirror, right, to select them, this is where they'll be. Here is the lovely and shy that we all love, Lowen. She is here now, correct? So there she is. Nebris, obviously here she is too, right? Wilhelmina, who I had before, she's still here. But since we're showcasing the new avatars, I'll put Nebris here. So obviously when you first get her, you'll have her Labyrinth Gatekeeper Nebris horns equipped, so you can unequip them if you want to. But I have them equipped because obviously this is her style, and obviously this belongs to Nebris. Okay? They also added, let's see, what else? Because they did actually add some things. So yeah, this is the Love Burst one that I was talking to you guys about. So all you got to do, like I said, in the event page for the Valentine's event, just spin the wheel, get the coins to do it so with, and at 30 spins, you'll be able to acquire this. Okay? Okay, so hand accessories, they added ski gloves, pink mittens, blue mittens, and white mittens. Okay? The pets, okay, so they added, which you saw my little snowman, right? So they have the little snowman, the gray cat, the white cat, the calico cat, the yellow puppy, white puppy, and the black puppy. So there you have it. You would equip them over here, by the way. This is where you would find them. As for the mounts, nothing's really changed with the mounts. So there you have it with the avatar and the little things that they added. Now we're going to go and we're going to click on our avatar. So they did add a little bit of interactions here, right? So if you click Nebris, she follows the cursor. If you spin it around, she gets dizzy. So the thing is, for this to happen and to work, you actually have to click not on her face, right? Because if you click on her face, this will happen, right? So this is something that they added here with the pickup. Okay, you have to actually click on the side. You see on the side here? Now, if you spin it really fast, she'll get dizzy. Okay? If you touch her chest, she gets embarrassed. That's another thing that they added. You can still pick them up here. Hold up. Let me see. Okay, so there we go. You can pick her up. Right? All you got to do is click and drag up. Same thing with her arm. Drag up. Okay? So that's little fixes that they had. So before, what they used to have was, they used to have something here where it would say, like, interact with your avatar, and you have to click that in order to interact with them. But they got rid of that now. So you can just simply just go about and do it. Okay? She's adorable, right? Obviously, she has her signature pose here. So if you want it, there it is. In fact, I'm going to get it. So obviously, I would have to equip it under my favorites. But I put Wilhelmina's here. But there it is. So it's so Nebris, right? It's so her too. So you have it, guys. So that's the avatar update that they did. Now we're going to check out the fishing. Okay, so hopefully this does not crash. Okay, so crossing our fingers here. Let me wait for my little buddy here. Okay, so they added a new fishing spot. Okay. So I'm going to check it out real quick. So I won't be able to go to it myself just yet, but here it is. It's called Atlantis. So you have to be, it says recommended fishing at a level 22. Okay, so here are the additional fish. They added, what, 15? Yeah, they added 15 of them. Okay. So they have it if you are a high enough level. Have fun with it. Okay, they also added a new fishing rod. So let's go check that out. It's called the Masterpiece. And it cost 750,000 silver. Wow. That's a lot. However, look at the stats on that. So, if you're wanting to grind, right? Good luck. Okay. But yeah, so let's see if we exit out. Is it going to crash? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Hopefully it doesn't. Yes, there we go. Okay, so they did fix it. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, guys, so there you have it with the update. That is basically all I wanted to cover with it. So I hope you guys found this update video helpful to you guys. I hope it covered everything. That might have answered some questions here and there with it. Oh, hold up. We got to go and look at the gear. I'm sorry. I apologize. I almost got a little lost here. So the gear. This was also a very big thing. This is the last thing that I'll talk about, though, in this video. So if you go to Lathel here, I'm going to use him as an example because he's the best one that I can think of at the moment. Okay, so his exclusive gear, right? So here is the new setting that they changed with the refinement. So you see here, this is what they did. Okay, so before, right, you didn't have this option that you could switch between defense and magic resistance, right, with exclusive gears that were for like armor types, right? Because let's just say if you wanted to go and fight a boss in Fiend Hunter mode, right, and you want to Lathel for his homunculus skill, you have to equip him with invulnerable armor or the oh my gosh, what was it called? That the magic resistant armor. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but he would have to equip that depending on the the boss type, right? So now I can equip Lathel's exclusive gear and actually have defense on it or magic resistance depending on the setting of who I'm going up against, right? And then I can now use whichever armor. Like, for example, if I was facing a physical type boss or physical type enemies, I can now equip this. Whereas before, I had to use invulnerable armor to have defensive stats so that he would survive. And now I can use those stats, right? With now, I could put it on someone else that needs the armor. You know what I'm saying? So it actually now saves me an armor slot that I could reserve for another character that needs it. So it is free, by the way, to switch back and forth. This is something that they did state. Sorry about that. Voice is getting dry. But yeah. So the thing is, however, with basic attribute 2, you still have to use, your material. So going back to the material here, right? So we're going to look at it because now you're able to use your refining stone. So this is a big win for a lot of us that have had a lot of refining stone, right? But but we're never able to use it. So here it is. We're able to use it now. So basically, my God, I need to get something to drink. So basically, you're able to use refining stone in place of your refining crystal. Oh, shit. I apologize. Oh, man. Oh, apologies. But yeah, so you get the gist, right? Here's the refining stone. You'll be using it first. Okay. So yeah, you click on this, it'll tell you the rules behind it. Okay. So that's really all there is to it, guys. Very simple. Very easy to now switch with the basic attribute skill. Okay. But as for everything else, you have to use refining stone or refining crystal, however. Okay, guys. So with the refining stone, they use it first in place of refining crystal. So best way to think of it as is basically if you were drawing in the banner pools, you would be using your tickets first and then your diamonds. That's basically the best way to describe it. You'd be using refining stone first before using your refining crystal. But with that being said, guys, that's what it's going to do for the cover of the new updates for the first half. We have to wait now for the second half. Okay? So, last thing. The pickup schedule, not the pickup scheduling. The scheduling for now the update. Okay? So, in case you guys are wondering, since technically they're a day behind with the maintenance, I'm just going to read this real quick, okay, without trying to cough up a lung. So, content schedule changes. So, some of them were changed, some of them weren't. So, by the way, I am going to post this. If you want the scheduling, just to make sure, again, to have a reference, I'll post it in my description below, okay? So, here it is. So, Golden Coliseum, the start time changed. The end time is unchanged. So, period after the February 12th maintenance lasts until February 18th, okay, at 2:59 p.m. UTC time. The Fiend Hunter preparation start time changed. The end time is not changed. So, preparation period after the February 12th maintenance through February 18th, 11:59 p.m. UTC time. Hunting period February 19th, 12 a.m. through February 25th, 2:59 p.m. UTC time. Guild Raid. Okay. Start time changed. End time has changed too. So the invasion defense after the February 12th maintenance through February 15th at 11:59 p.m. UTC. Boss defense February 16th, 12 a.m. through February 19th, 2:59 p.m. UTC time. 4. Season event start time changed, end time unchanged. Period after the February 12th maintenance, before the February 25th maintenance UTC time. Compensation, they did give us a daily base of 5 APs will be provided accordingly. So basically, just look in your mailbox. Okay, they also did provide 12 draw tickets to us as well as compensation too. So make sure to claim those as well. And in case you guys are wondering what AP is, it's basically the daily attempts that would reset itself for when you go to the season events. Right, you would go here. And then you would proceed to go to the normal battle or challenge battle, right? I'll show you real quick. This loads up. This is basically what they're talking about. The powder blender. It's basically the material that you use that resets itself. So receive a sum of 5 powder blenders at 9 a.m. KST every day. Amounts exceeding the sum won't be granted. So basically, yeah. It's basically the attempts that you get for whenever you finish it. You wait till reset time, and then you have it unlocked. Or you have it available for you again. Makes sense? So they basically just gave you 5 more to use. Okay? So, that's basically what that was saying. So, pickups, the start time, end time changed. Costume pickup for Magical Innovator Diana. And the exclusive gear pickup for White Pixie, which is her exclusive gear. Period after the February 12th maintenance, before the February 25th maintenance UTC time. Compensation, free draw chances for costume and exclusive gear will be compensated with 1 draw ticket per draw. Basically, you know how you get like free draws? So they were basically giving us 2 tickets for us missing out on the free draws, basically. That you always have when drawing each day. Okay, 6 passes, Mart Wars Season Pass, start time changed, the end time is unchanged. Valentine's Day Special Season Pass, time changed, end time unchanged, period. After the February 12th maintenance, before the March 11th maintenance UTC time. Morphia character pass. Okay, so in case you guys don't have Morphia, she is in the character pass. It's the free one. Basically, you just go to the pass at the main menu, right? Do the mini missions, the daily ones, and all that. Very easy to do, by the way, okay? So, and she's free. So, I mean, what more can you want, right? So, here's the pass. Okay, this is where the Morphia pass is. So, do all the missions that you do for the dailies here. They unlock each day. And boom, you can claim her. She's free, right? So, period after the February 12th maintenance through the February 26th, 11:59 p.m. UTC time. Okay, guys? Mini season events. I know there's a lot here, by the way, like I said. So, you get the gist of it. I'm not going to read every single one, but I just wanted to show you this, okay? But like I said, I'll post it in my description below in case you want to just see it for yourself. Okay, guys? So, there you have it. There's the latest on everything with this video. And with that being said, finally, right, I covered everything here. Hope you guys have a great one. Good luck on your pulls for Deanna. And until then, I'm going to go grab something to drink. Okay? Start my day off again. Take care, everybody. See ya.